Right, continue work on the Green Westie that we've been restoring. We got the engine out a while ago, and obviously we've been giving it a clean. We're pretty much there. We've got maybe a bit more to do. We did the rear main oil seal when we first pulled her out, but we're going to be doing the pushrod tube seals, new pushrod tubes. You have to take the rocker gear off, but the good thing with the 2 litre and 18 and 1700 Type 4s, you can do them in situ if you need be, but obviously we've got the engine out, it's easier to do. So we've got to pull the rocker gear off and pull the tubes through and everything. But you can see we've been giving it a clean. It's a really good engine, really good 2 litre. It's an excellent little engine. So yeah, not much to do in the way of everything, but we got the new tubes, brand new ones here with the new seals, little and small. We got the better seals as well. There is a difference. Look it up online, you'll find that there's a difference. They'll be sealed as well, sealed in tube and outside of the seal, but not tons like someone's done here. If you look in, there's a load of red, God knows, silicone and everything, which can get in the oilways and block pushrod oilways, and you can see it's horrible. But you can see we're giving it a clean. Still a little bit of oil coming out. You know, we've got to clean some threads up ready for heat exchangers later on, but we'll do that once we've got the engine all tight and work on from there. And we've got some bits over here that have come back from powder coating. We've got the rocker covers, the original. They're good, they're sealed, you know, they're not perfect, but we like a bit of originality, so they will not leak. Genuine ones are really good. They tend to be much better with the bell arms as well, they're much tighter. We've got filler neck, and obviously we got the mounts, a new thermostat, well, a repurposed thermostat that I had, that would get all the flaps working because they got quite a lot of flaps going on. Obviously these original heat exchangers have been done. There's a Volkswagen press badge somewhere there. They're much better, more efficient. He's going to run it, and top tins, fan shroud all powder coated, and it'd be nice to start putting some nice bits on. We've got a lot more bits which we'll show you later on in another video once we start putting the nice stuff on, but unfortunately it's clean and doing the horrible oily stuff today, and then move on to the nicer stuff on a later date. Right, so we've cleaned up the mess left by whoever previously put the cylinder head on, and you know, we've got it nice and clean. You can use something to get the aftermath of everything off of there, really, because we're going to put some sealant in there, but we'll use the proper stuff. So you can see a little bit dark, but everything's nice and smooth and clean. I've now sealed in the new tubes. You can see my sealant's a lot better than the previous mechanic, who, as you saw, a load of red gunk everywhere. So we've got the tubes in. There's a little bit of oversplash, but like nothing's gone in the engine. I've used a Volkswagen, we managed to locate years ago, a proper genuine style of sealant that would have been used back in manufacture when this engine was new, and it's, even if you can get a little bit of overrun, which we don't, it's safer than everything. But yeah, so we've a little bit of thumbprint to take off of one, but we'll get it nice and clean and go from there. Right, next part of the engine, we've obviously put a few more bits and pieces on. We did the tubes in earlier, we showed you, but I've set the thermostat and the cable up. It's all up in here. And put a new cable in. I made a new cable out of a new throttle cable from an old Golf, but you can see it's lovely, it's much stronger. But that's set up, but I've left a bit of length, and obviously so you don't cut your fingers, but a bit of length, so when we heat it and warm the engine up, I can move the thermostat or the cable slightly to adjust the flaps. But they're all lovely. I got them all free and working, and we put the tin on. We've ordered a few more bits to make it look a bit prettier. His old mesh was a bit messed up. The timing scale was horrible, so that's all in there. And we've set the timing on top dead center ready anyway. It's just the way I do it. The exhaust is not going to go on until we fitted it, because it's space to get it in off the valance. It's all nice and painted, which you'll see when we have it installed. Got to give her a little clean off afterwards, but it's got a bit of dust where she's been stood in there. Rear main seal's done, so the next job will be to get her down, and then put the rear piece of tin on, then fit her and put the Dalek heat exchangers, we call them Dalek heads because they look like them, and fit those and screw them on afterwards. The alternator's all in there now, and the tin looks pretty good. I think it's reused old tin, so we've got to wire this up on the van once we get it in. Luckily with 2 litres, you just plug in, that's for the light, that's onto the starter motor. So we'll run it through the rear tin afterwards, connect the fuel pump with some new hose. And the carb was all set before. This was running obviously on this engine, and we've got to put the servo pipe out the back. I've already made that. It's been powder coated actually, the metal side of it. And wire the coil on because of the valance again. That's not on there, but I think it's come up very nice. I think it'll look good when you see it in the back of the van. We always pick this light arm grey to match the firewall where the fuel tank cover is in the same grey. So I think it projects through real nice. As well as looks nice, it runs really well, this engine. But yeah, it looks very good. So next on, fit and run. Right, got the engine in. Obviously we've got to put the wiring, tidy it up. We've got the fan to put on. So this is the fan wiring and that. We had a few fiddly bits to do, but she went in really tight. These 2 litres, as a lot of you will know, can be really easy to go in, or sometimes not, depending. It's just on like an inch here and there. So this cover just gets tight. So we had to take the studs out the engine to just get her in so we don't scratch anything. That's the problem when everything's really nice and powder coated and clean. So yeah, basically exhaust on, everything you see looks really pretty. And we've got to do tappets afterwards. I've done the push rod tubes and everything like that, so we've got to realign those. Once we've run her up, we've got to let her cool back down. You never do them when they're warm. And this is solid tappets on this engine someone's put in. It would have been hydraulic originally. Yeah, so we've got her in. Looks nice and tidy. We're going to, like I said, check the timing afterwards and that, but we're ready for a start. Will she start after 2.5 years of being stood? Fingers crossed. Choke's working nicely, obviously. Wow, I'm impressed. I don't usually start that well. I think it sounds very good. It's got a bit of tidying up to do, but yeah, very, very good. Looks lovely.